what we are working on. All right, so guys, welcome to more like the last period of this is day 16 by my record. So welcome to day 16, and promises to be an exciting time. And today we are going to look at how to read into a file. Yeah, that's the last thing that we have to look. We have to just look at that. Know how to read into a file. So I'm going to create a folder. Sorry, I don't know if you guys can see that part of my screen. So yeah, VS Code again, because I want to read into folder. So I want it to be on my local system. So let me just share my full screen. Oh, don't worry. So I'm going to, for my screen, I'm just going to my system. I'm going to create a new folder on desktop. So you will not see it now because I'm not sharing that part of the screen. But you know how to create folder already now. So let me just call it day 16. You can't see it. Oh, some persons will be saying, I cannot see it. I cannot see it. I can't see it. So let me open that folder here. So file, open folder or directory. So you can't see the parts. You can feel my mouse moving, right? So the way my mouse is moving is a file I'm clicking on. Right. So now you see the effect of it. Great. So now you can see the effect of it. So this is the folder. I created a folder called the system on my desktop. All right. So and I opened it on VS Code. So I want to create two things. The first thing I want to create a test file. So let's create a test file. I'm going to call that one story.txt. So this is a test file. Then the next thing I want to do is I want to create a Python script. So let's just call this one our app, or let's call it script. So script.py.
So
So
I'm not
that's it.
seeing anything. No.
Is your network cool? Is your network, because my screen is
Are you sure you shared it?
Let's chill. Everybody calm down first.
please can you see my screen? I had to reshare my screen again. No, I don't know. I was trying to reshare my screen. When the person complained, you cannot see my screen.
Okay, you can see your screen now.
All right. So the person who complained, please can you see my screen because of your.
I'm sure I have to log out and come in because I can't see it.
No problem. Just log out and log in back. Thank you very much.
Okay, great. So I've created a file called. Let me zoom in a little bit so that you guys can see. Oh, sorry, not. I should not be zooming from. Should be zooming here. Yeah. So I've created a file called script.py and test.py. Right. So let's say we want to write into this file. Understand? Look at the URL already shown here. That's the URL to it. But because they are saved in the same folder, there's what we call absolute directory and relative directory, or absolute path and relative path. Now, absolute path is where you are calling this what is showing on my screen now is what we call absolute path. So from the C drive to the user, the username is God's gift, GOC, the desktop. So I mean that's where I save this folder system, and then inside that, so this is if you want to find this story.txt, you go to the C storage as the C drive. You go to the users directory, which is a folder. Go to GOC directory, which is a folder. Go to desktop directory. Go to the system directory. There you get story.txt. Now from this C to the end is what we call absolute part. Is the absolute part to the file. Can you hear me? Then we now have what they call relative part. Relative part is where I'm not starting from C. I'm not starting from C. I'm starting from maybe like desktop, the system story.txt. That's what we call a relative part. Do you understand? It's like I'm not starting from the beginning. Maybe I'm in desktop, so I want to go to the system. So I'll just say slash the system, blah blah blah. So that's what we call relative part. Relative part is when you are not using the complete one. So maybe because I'm in desktop, for example. So because I'm in desktop and I want to go to the system, I don't need to be putting C dot drive user. I'm already in desktop. So I'll just continue slash the system slash tst. We call them relative part. Okay, so they are in the same place. So because they're in the same place, I'm going to be using relative part more than absolute part. But let me use the two self so that you understand better. I'll use absolute, I'll use relative. So let's start with absolute. So on my script, I'm going to do something like with open. Now, if you do something like, if I copy this part, this test, so I want to go and do copy. You can see copy part, copy relative part. Can you see it? Can you guys see it? Copy part, copy relative part. Okay, great. So I want to do copy parts. I don't want to copy relative parts. Now I'll paste it here. Now, if I paste it here, I have to put it in a string. You need to be in a string. But there's an issue when you do something like this. Let me close this last panel. There's an issue when you do things like this. The issue here is this: is that Python sees this thing as a string. It does not see it as a part, really. It sees it as a string. Remember, we said a string is anything that is in quotes. For Python to read it as a part, we always put this alphabet arrow. So if I put arrow here, just check, see the way the color has changed. This is the string. You see, this light looks like light orange or something like that. So, but if I put the arrow, it becomes a little bit dark. So that arrow there is what we use to signify that we want to read it as a part. Do you understand? That is what it means. So once you use open, okay, open, what we are saying is that open this part, this directory. Now, when you are done opening the directory, there are some things that we want to do. What do you want to do after opening it? So let me just scroll from this my stuff so that I can show you, because sometimes you have to remind it. So we have arrow. Arrow means read the opening file. You want to read the file you have opened. W means that you want to write and truncate the first character, the file first. You understand? I mean, you want to delete, you want to write and delete the file. S means that you want to create a new file, open it with, open it for writing. So we can actually create a new file. A means you want to open an existing file, append to the end of the file if it exists. B means binary mode. T means test mode. Plus there means open a file, a disk file for updating. So there's a lot there that you can just learn. See. So for me, if I want to work on anything, it's just to read. Like I said, documentation is one way to save your life. So I might just come here. Okay, so these are the things I can do. I can do W, arrow, T, WT. You see, so a lot of stuff are just there for you to read. This is document 2. So I think Colab also does the same thing by helping you to understand all of these things. So I want to just do, we want to write. So I'm going to do W, because that's what we want to do. We want to write. So I'm going to say as. file. So we have opened. Sorry, I have to go a little bit inside. So we open this part as the mode I want to give it is write. We want to write inside it. So we'll now come back and say, okay, so I have already planned a sentence. So I'm going to bring that and copy and paste. I did that before now when I was telling you guys to give me some time. So let me paste the sentence on my code. Great. So I've pasted the sentence on my code. So this is what I want to put in my file. I want my file to have this, all of this sentence. Great. Now somebody can say, but sir, how come you are doing it on multiple lines? Now look at the bracket I'm using to cover it. 3. Can you see it is no longer a single stuff? That's how code it can be for you. Today you learn the simplest one. You see now today the one, but not knowing that you can also do it other way. So I'm just trying to make this thing look a little bit nice. Right. So like I don't be breaking the screen. Great. So this is my sentence. So we want to write this into this file. So we'll come down and I have to give tab because despite that this my settings, they are starting at there's no tab. Anyway, the reason why there's no tab is because I'm doing a multiple line sentence, so it can start anywhere. But my code must stay on the tab to keep indentation in check. So I'm going to do file dot write. So what do we want to write? So I'm going to say write. What do we want to write? We want to write sentence. Or let's just call this, instead of sentence, let's call this story. Right. So to write story into, we want to write story into our file. Great. So I can just leave this and I'll run it. Let me run it. Okay, perfect. It's done. It's done executing. You can see that it's done executing. Then I can go back. Now let's go back and check the story and see what is inside. Can you see that our sentence now is now currently inside this file? Now don't see them. Great. So you can see that the sentence that we wrote is now currently on our story.txt. So this is the script we're using, writing this whole stuff, and we are saving it inside our test. So we can go further and do a lot. Maybe let's say we want to read the first line. So I'm going to comment this one like this because we have done that part. In fact, let me use, I could have used a stuff. So there's what we call file.close. You can close it, but I don't want to close yet. So I want to copy this part. Let's say we want to add something to it. So somebody should give me something that we can add. So to add to it, we have to use the word, append, that's A. So we want to say that new story, let's just say new underscore story is equal to Python. I've explained that to Python or add. I've explained what the triple this thing looks like already. Python or add, comma. Now you find big English. All right, so let's say we want to put this one, or the sorry. I can do this. Python or identify big English. Let me leave it that way, and then I can come back here and say, okay, alpha dots. We want to write also. So let's write our new story. Great, and then let's run this one. So it's done already. So it's done again. So let's go to our new stuff. So you can see that we have added Python or add now you the find big English to the test that we created before. So that's what this first one we use W, second one we use A to say we want to append to it. Now that's awesome. So what if we want to read what is on the file? So in this case, now I'm going to try and use relative parts. I want to try and use relative parts. So let me just go with the absolute part because absolute part is something that you guys can. So let's first of all say read as file. But I want to show you guys some stuff. If we say read as file, we can do something like this. Print is the file readable? Because this file we are doing, is it readable? So let's run it. So we see that it's saying true is readable. Okay, so I want to do something here, guys. Sorry. I want it that anytime I run something, it should port OS. Anytime I run something, I want it to clean this to clean the previous one by itself. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do something like os.system bracket cls to clear. So let me run this again. Great. So this is what I want to be doing. I want it to always delete. Do you guys understand what I did? I trouble I find with that one. No? Some people know one. Some people are like, this guy has a fine trouble this evening. You know? Great. But what I was doing is that I want to clear my tender. But this time I run code, the previous answer used to be there. So I need to clear it off. That's why I use this method imported OS. You should, anytime you see you import, you know that this is a module. Can you see it on my screen? It's a module. And another thing I need to teach you guys is that there's a shortcut to know things that are inside the module. I need to teach you guys that one. There's a shortcut to know it. Let me just command. So shortcuts to know things that are inside the module. Print directory, just do die OS. That's all. That's the name of the module and put die. So if I run this, see, okay, you see normally it has cleaned those the previous answer, but you can see all this list. You see all this list that is printed out from here. These are all the things that are listed inside this OS module. See open for here. See part directory. See parts. See pipe. See list directory. I didn't teach you guys OS library, but it's very important. For example, I can't. Hey, Jesus, I don't come up for what I did teach you. No. I will go back. I'll not do again. All right, let's go back. Somebody just they draw that, they make that thing come out. I'll not do. No. Let's go back to now. Fine with the teach. What I want them to say is that I can do print. I can do print os dot list directory. So I want to list the directory. So to tell me exactly what directory I am on. So look at it. What are the things inside my directory? Look at it. This is all the things I have inside my directory. By using list directory, I think I can do .get cwd. Yeah. So cwd look like current working directory. So this is my current working directory. Look at it up here. So OS is very powerful. So I can get current working directory. So as I used to use OS a lot, in case when I want to save files, if I want to save a file, and I don't know where the VS Code I'm working with is. So I'll just say os.get current working directory. It tells me you can list directory, you can find a path, you can check if a file, if what you have in the in you can find if what you have in the directory, if it's a path, if it's a file. I think there's something called it's maybe file or something like that. I've forgotten those stuff, but when I want to use it, I'll get them. So and all of that. So let's go back here. Let's leave it. So somebody can take home and go and read about OS. Very important. So the goal was to check if the stuff is readable. So when I printed it, it showed me it was readable. So it's readable, true. Fine. So let's read the first line. So let's just do file dot read line, for example. Let's do read line first. So and run this. So by the time we run it, you see that it printed the first line for us. That in the forgotten village, a young Maya discovered a hidden door in her. This is the first line. This is the first line. I don't know if this thing pass variable. Let me just pass. Or let me just click on it. Okay, so let me run 2. So you say when we say 2, it runs in. So we can determine how many numbers of characters that we want to read. So let me say I want to read the first 300 character. So this is the first 300 character I want. Let me say 500. I just want to see if not everything they read comma. Okay, now the first line in the read comma. All right, great. So that's read line for you. Another one you can do read lines. There's another one called read lines. So let's click on read lines. So read lines go bring everything command side for us. And my ask on a question. Everybody unmute your mic. Please, what is this? What is it coming at us? Where did they come at us? You can send it on the chat. Where did this thing they come at us? If I enter your body, Bobby, this evening, why is it coming as a test? Bobby, what is this thing coming at us? Don't change maths. Somebody say story. Can you imagine? Somebody say this thing is coming out as a story. Oh, people now don't teach. People get students die. Yeah, story indeed. I mean, this thing is coming out as a list too. I beg you. I like that guy that said this thing is called. If he's a guy or whatever he said, it's coming. I like you so much because don't worry, people like you. It's not like people like you that I'm not laughing at you, but people who are not as technical as you or something like that are the best people I like to present projects. And funny enough, that's how I can just speak as a project. The project will be so sweet. You understand? It will be so sweet. So I'm not, it's not like laugh, but coding without fun is nothing. So we must have that kind of stuff so that somebody can laugh sometimes. So this is coming out as a list actually. You can see it now. It has this, it has this. So we call this a one-dimensional list. So it's coming out as a list, and then you find out that it has a separator. Look at the separator. What is the separator? What is separating this list? Hmm? Oh, come. Oh, your mics are muted now. What is separating this list? A comma. Yeah. It's actually a comma. Look at it, a comma that is separating it. It's a comma. So it's a comma that is separating it. All right, no problem. So that's how you can read. And I think there's not much stuff I want to do. We can also do find. You can do find. You can find. From a an entire list, find if a word is in a file. You can do that. You can do that. And we can even do, let's say we want to replace, let's go back to it. Let's say we want to replace this Python, for example. Now this Python, we want to replace it with pip, for example. And you see Python, replace it with pip. So let's just add a lot of Python to it. So great. So I'll go back. Let me put this OS here. Let me put it here. So that I know that whatever I do, it will always clean that stuff. Great. So let me comment this one and open this one back. So let's write another one. Let's just write Python. It's a beautiful community, for example. So let's rerun this one. Let's write this and rerun it. So great, we run it, and if you come back, you see that Python is a beautiful community. Okay, so what if we want to now, let's say we want to change anywhere you see Python. So the first thing we need to do is that we need to read and write. So to read and write, we'll do, I don't know if I forgot that this thing. I think we'll do with W plus, something like that. And so let me first of all check if it's writable first. So print file dot readable. Let me see if the file is readable now. This is how you check if you can actually read the file first. So let me see if it's readable. It's readable, true, great. So I can read through it with this mode. So what if it is writable? So is it writable? Let me run it. Good. Say true is writable. So with W plus, I can read and write on on a file also. So I'll come back here and say, okay, what if we want to, let's say, because we want to change, we want to change Python to pip. So we'll do something like this, that our sentence is going to be, file dot read lines. So because we're going to read lines. So we want to read all of, or let's just do content. Let me not do content. Content is going to be file dot read lines. Then the next thing we're going to do, because it's going to come as a list, this is going to come as a list. Because if we do print, for example, content, or let's say print type, what is the type of content? You guys remember now. So let's run this one now. If we say print type of content, see, it's coming as a list. Great. So what we need to do also is we need to convert it to a string. So we say content, our content, it's equal to srt, comma, and content. So let's print it now to see if we've actually worked on it. So it's not a string. Great. So now that is a string, we know that let's print content out. So print content, for example. So I'm going to comment this line, this print type. So it's printing as an empty list. So that's another issue. It's printing as an empty list. I'm coming. Let me comment this one. And let me run this. Let me even see what it's printing. It's even printing as an empty list. Okay, so I think I know where the issue is coming from. Let me print file dot read lines, and then comment this part, and comment this part. So let's see what it's printing at. So it's not printing my file. Oh, well, let me go and check this thing if I'm not watching. Oh, Jesus. Oh my God. So anyway, what happened is this is that no, not variable name. What happened is that accidentally I have what's it called? I have wiped the test with this mode. So I think this was the wrong mode I was using. I think I should use A plus, something like that. So I've cleared the test. So that's why. Because I was wondering what happened. But it's not hard, it's just for me to come back here and rerun this code again. And then comment this one back. You see how a silly mistake can just a silly mode can just spoil things. We run this again. So if we go back to our file, you see that we have it here. So let me see to Python more add. So this is the last thing for today. Now you define big grammar. Something like that. So let's run this one again. Awesome. So let me have it here. So Python know how to define big grammar. So I'm going to comment this. Now the question is this: I have to look for the best way to so let me try A plus. I don't know. Sometimes this mode it can be very fun. You see, it has removed it again. Okay, it has not removed it. So I still have it. So A plus is not actually reading. So let me do how to readable. So what I'm trying to do now is to find the right mode. So it's readable true. So why am I not getting it? So read line. Let me try read line first. I don't understand what's going on.
Try just A.
Okay, let me try just A and read line. So if you try just A, it's no longer readable. Is it readable? So readable is false. So just A will not do the work. What if I do? I don't know. There's nothing like WRO. But so the thing is the method. I can't do S. If I do S, S will be why? Okay, I know why this is not working. W plus T is not working because you are writing. I know right now. You run this again. Let me see. Is it readable? True. Does it change? It has changed. Every time I just do W stuff, it changes the write up. So let me check their read up again. Let's go up. Let me find B is to binary mode W. So the thing is this: they have a documentation self that shows you full. So let me see arrow.b. So there's a lot. They have their own, I beg, their own mode that you can go and search it online self on Stack Overflow. Maybe we'll use generative AI to check it, and then it will tell you what they want to do, what you want to do. So what I wanted to do was simple. I wanted to um okay. Great. So I want to come here and do something like let me comment this line and let's check if it's readable. Let's check if I can read from here. So print file dot readable. Let me check if this is readable. Why is it showing false and true? Oh, sorry. So it's actually false anyways. So it's false. Okay. Okay. So let me run this one. This is true. Okay. A plus is true. Have I used A plus? Yeah. A plus still don't clean up. All right, everybody, good night. Go and sleep. All right. So what I wanted to do was that I want to convert it to a string. I've done all of this thing before. Convert it to a string, and then you now replace. I wanted to try to replace a file that is already existing. So you now replace it. So once you replace it, um, it will just change that word inside. Because there was a project I worked on one time, and we're saving files, we're saving information into that file, and whenever the person wants to use that application, the person has to maybe let's say we're saving password into file. So if the person enters his password, the code will run and read through that file. It will read through that file, and if you read through that file, it will find if that password or username thereabouts is existing. If the username is existing and then it corresponds to, because what we're doing is that what I did was that I saved every username was mapped to a password, like a dictionary. So when you save it that way, it's being saved in your file. So whenever anybody enters the username, it checks if the username is already existing in that file. You understand? If it's existing in that file, no problem, it runs. Then the next thing it tells the person is to enter password. Now, if the person enter password, it checks, it's like a use.get method. So you now get what password was actually saved to that username. So if the password does not correlate, it flags an error. But if the password correlates, they are together, the person has an access into the app. So that was what I did with that stuff. Uh-huh. So I was just trying to show you how you can find, or let's say we want to even rename a username. We can do that. If we want to rename a username, we can find through that file, see where the thing is existing from. If we know that it's existing in our file because it's unique, if we know it's existing in our file, we'll bring it out, allow the person to change that username. Person changes it as long as what the person is changing is not appearing on the file, is not what somebody has already used before. If it's not there, it becomes successful, and then it updates the record. So those are powerful or a little bit fundamental stuff you can play with reading of files. So I don't know if you guys have any question, because I think this is clear, but I just had to bring it out today so that people can know that it's possible to do this and you can build on it. Especially, I also told you guys the OS, so you can do that. OS is very important for those who want to do data analysis. There are times I use OS to read multiple files into for data analysis. For data analysis, I use OS. I read like 7, 10 files into my code, run through all of them, concat them together, remove some rows, blah 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 blah, and prepare them for data analysis. So OS is very important. Okay, so any question? Let's just take question because yeah. Call it, your hands is raised. So for this one I did not do. It's just to find the right. I don't want to start going to online to go and be finding the right emojis. Just to find the right mode. So the right mode.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Yeah, just a minute. The right mode that will allow me copy this
Thank
stuff.
you thank you for the lecture. Like the example you gave, I don't know. The way we are referencing now, can we create a database and make reference to it like this to check through if a particular word exists? Let's say like that sign on case as a case study. Maybe we have a sign on username password and we are trying to search if such username exists before. If it does exist, you then prompt that such username exists. If it does not exist, then you can then go ahead in creating a new username. I don't know if it's possible using this method.
And this is a tautology of what I just actually answered. I said something regarding this area just now before you even raised your hand. I told you guys that I worked on a project like that, and I said it already. And I even, I think, oh guys, did you not hear me when I said this? Please, I just want to confirm if it.
I heard you. The way this one is, I don't know. You can make a database.
When you say a database, when you say database, that word database, you need to define that word database. You understand? A database is anything like we call database. Sometimes it can be relational. It's
Yes,
not
like
relational. So you have to ensure that
specific.
you know, oh, which one is the actually database I'm talking about. Do you
A
understand?
relational database where we
Eh,
have a table where you enter a username and password.
that might be a different mechanism or different logic to go and find if a password is already existing. Because if you have a relational database like this, and somebody is entering a password, you are not testing a string. This is a test file. This is just a test. That to read a file. But that when you are reading a database, it means that what you are going to do is that you might likely um um select. Let's say you want to use SQL for example, and the person enters a username. You are going to raise something like select all from table this where username is equal to stuff. And if the username is unique and it's attached to only one person, for example, using SQL, you get all the rows from the person. So you know that sharp, the person is existing. So that can be a very different ball game when you are reading into a file. If I want to use Python to read to that kind of database now, like I just do SQL, select or from record where this is this. But with Python can be we use what we call what's this thing now? Was it conditional filtering? So df username equal to there are two ways. Either use df username equal to the username presented, then I do dot log to locate which row. If it's not there, I can say if error, then send if the thing raise an error, send a message, username not found. That one is when we are doing data analysis, you can even do that implementation. It's not hard. Or I can use dot get query with Python. Because Python has pandas has in Python has a little bit of implementation of SQL inside. So
Maybe
that's it.
when I get there, I will know how to cross the bridge. I'm just thank you very much.
Or at least you know that there's a bridge. That's the at least you know there's a bridge. So it shows there's a road. If I said no, that means there's no road. So the one I've just told you now is how to now find your way to cross the bridge. So at least you know there's a bridge. So that's it. That's a perfect
Thank you
answer.
very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. So any other question? No, ask question. That's a very good question the guy asked. Of. Very good question. I like the fact that you are thinking of how to implement things. So if you have any other question, can ask. Let's just do one. Let's just do for the next 5 minutes and then we are done for today. We'll meet tomorrow for projects grouping and
I have another question.
okay.
Hello. Though it's outside what you just taught us now. There was one assignment I was trying to do. Okay, when I was using the if else loop, so there was a condition that I placed on that if so and so is not true, it should give me such a report. But when I did it, it was I was wanting it to go to this that condition was true because it was they were loop inside loop. So I wanted to exit that first loop so that it will not enter the second loop. I was somehow stuck. I did not know how to go about it. So I don't know if there's a way I can leave a loop that is already existing.
Yeah, you can use break. There's a keyword called break. You can use break to exit a loop. Uh,
Wait, though I saw that
just a
the
minute.
loop I'm been referring to now is not for or a while loop. I was using if statement. I don't know. Is there any way I can exit if statement?
You want to exit an if statement. If a condition is
Just,
true, if a condition is true,
is
you
it
should
possible,
exit it.
sir?
If a condition is met, the thing should exit
Mm,
it.
yes, sir. Uh, Let me just come out plain. The third, the cohort program, the assignment that was
All right.
being
Oh yeah,
given
bye bye
there.
bye 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 bye
So
bye bye bye.
when I
No,
was trying to
no, I'm
implement,
not answering again. I'm not. Hello,
hello,
I'm not answering. I'm not answering again. No, no, no,
can
no.
I bring that
As you
one
have
in
told,
here?
no, 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 no. Can't be that one here.
I
Hello,
have
That
a
one,
question.
yeah, you can't be that one here. Don't worry.
hello.
Thank you. I can hear you. I say you can't bring that one here.
I have a question.
Okay, okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. So,
I have a question.
yeah, yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay.
I
I
have
think
two.
I'm studying this plant biology and biotechnology. So if someone now want to build something an algorithm of plant disease, maybe you can put want to check, maybe you can snap a plant, then you can dictate the name of the disease that is affecting the plant, like the details of the plant. How can you do that? Uh, Like, how can you build such a thing?
This one is consultant too. This one is consultant for this one. This is no longer Python again. This one is consultant fee you're looking for. But anyway, yeah, it's consultant fee. So, anyways, if you are doing that kind of thing, you are doing lands and thereabouts. I think that is an advanced. Let's put that. That should be. Let's say that we are going towards deep learning, object detection. Let's just say you're going towards machine learning because in machine learning there's what we call where you have to train. First of all, you have to train. Uh, you have to have like five pictures of that plant, for example. One that is healthy, one that is having disease. You understand? And what kind of disease is that one having? One that is, all the different type of disease that can affect that plant. And then you not show when the plant is healthy. So that kind of stuff. So you feed a machine, your model, you train your model with such a data. So your model learns that data. It could be a classification or reinforcement learning. Your model learns that data, or you can even use deep learning. It learns the data. Then the next thing you do is that next time you show the you put, maybe you do not snap another plant that is having maybe any type of disease, and you feed it to your plant, your model. Your model will not tell you that this is actually what is wrong with this disease. So those kind of stuff, you have to have the data to be able to train a model first. When you train a model with that data that you have had, then you can test that model with a new stuff. That's what we call target and features. But that one is not what we should be discussing here.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a good interest. I would like you to pick it up, research about it, and find your career path to that. But it's a very good interest to be able to apply, tech into what you are studying. It's a very good interest, very good one. Please keep it up. Keep it up, please.
All
That's
right,
a
sir.
very good project. Very good. You can even do that. So, whoever that person is, please keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, a very good one. Can even bring it up as a project, and I can mentor you on that project. Uh, to
Okay,
tell
sir.
you, yeah, go and do that. All right. But when I mean mentor, you mean I will kill you with YouTube videos, kill you with many things. So it doesn't mean you be calling me anyhow or anytime. Okay. All right. So I think it's 10:21, guys. It's another wonderful time. So let's take our attendance and we'll see ourselves tomorrow where we'll do projects, shuffling, where we have to shuffle everybody into a project. So I'll still give a little bit of grace. See, let's say 3 p.m. West African time to whoever those in the delay folder to finish their. Let me do 12, please. 12 p.m. 12 noon. So finish your assignments, and we'll see tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll do project grouping. Bye, guys. Thank you very much. See you at class.
Okay, thank you very much, Instructor Godgift. Let's put our hands together for Instructor Godgift. He has been wonderful throughout this cohort. He has not missed a day. Let's put our hands together for him now. Can you hear me? When they hear me? Hands together for him. Mr. Kinsey, thank you very much.
There goes an
Thank you very
attendance. There
much.
goes an
Appreciate
attendance.
him. Okay. Attendance is here.
I
Please,
appreciate
please,
it. I
please.
don't already come up for group before. I don't come up for the call. Now appreciate me. Don't worry.
Yes,
Yes,
now we
sir.
appreciate.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you so much.
I don't come up for the call. My spirit just say join. Something is going on.
Yes.